What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Huddle. I'm here with my boy
Christian Roddy.
And we also got a special guest, for 101 subscribers for the 51 anniversary, the one and only JP the Barber.
Nice to meet y'all. Thank you and appreciate the Huddle.
Yes, sir. So, if y'all don't know why I be coming here looking so damn good all the time, is because my man be really hooking me up like here, get me crispy, looking like a number 2 from Popeyes, extra crispy, extra spicy. You feel me? So yeah, I met JP like 5 years ago.
About that.
Yeah, I've been rocking with him for a minute when he was over at East to West for a while, and then now he got his own spot, which is dope. And yeah, I mean, I was going to a barber that was kind of like over by where his spot is now, and then my homie that was going to East to West was like, "Yo, come in, like all their barbers hot, like you gotta go get a cut from over here." And I was like, "All right, bet." And it's like I walked in and they do, I forgot, like y'all did like reservations or something. You got to put your name in the book, and I sat down and obviously JP was like available, and I was like, "I bet." And then cut me up. Hey, shit was squared away, and then I've been rocking with him since. But I mean, other than just like being my barber, he's a really cool dude, down to earth. Definitely one of my friends. I consider him a friend. We don't just be going in there. He be chopping me up, because I know some of y'all go to y'all barbers, don't even be talking to them, just be sitting in the chair. You get cut up and then you just leave. We be actually having conversations. So I thought it was a great person to bring onto the show, because this is a dude that we definitely have like organic conversations about and stuff that is probably would like to be for viewers' ears other than just myself. So, but yeah, JP, if you want to go over like what got you into being a barber, when you started being a barber, why you started being a barber, all that good stuff.
Cool. Thanks for that introduction. I really appreciate that. Got me in being a barber. Actually, it's funny, we're here. This is pretty much where I started, actually, in this city. This is where I grew. I ended up moving here from being on Camp Pendleton when I got out. My wife and I, we were going dating, and we moved a couple streets away from here, actually. And my wife, she looked at how I would keep myself groomed outside of getting a haircut. And she was like, "Why don't you go be a barber?" And keep in mind, she was a stylist herself. She is. But she thought I would be good because she saw the detail I took on myself. She thought I would be good with other people. And I shied away from it for the longest time. But I would dabble with it with my kids. Finally, this one time, I was in Palomar to be a sports journalist. And as I'm at the UT, the Tribune, they couldn't promise to bring me back, and I'm upset because I gave a lot of time to do this. And we were talking on Google, my wife and I, and she was like, "What's wrong?" She could sense something was wrong, and I confided to her. I said, "Something's got to give. I can't keep doing this my life." And she's like, "Okay, let's get you into school." 2 weeks later, I went to that school, and I never went back. So I never looked back, I should say. So that was my journey on being a barber. And I think I take pride in the fact that I can help people look good and feel good. But more than that, it's doing something I never thought I could do. I never thought I could be proficient enough to do. And I love interacting with different walks of life. You never know who's going to walk through the door, but stranger who wants a haircut. And eventually, hopefully that stranger becomes more than just a customer, a client, Sean and I first met, like you said, about 4 or 5 years ago. And he was just somebody looking for a haircut. Next thing I know, we're talking more. Like, he's one of the few people I actually cut on a regular basis that I will talk to outside of the shop. Most people just call me just to reserve an appointment. I'm going to talk to him outside of it. Like, literally, y'all had one episode. I called him up right away. It's like, "Are you really serious about this?" It was about what it was. It was the I forgot. Y'all took the villain. You took.
Oh, he called us about the Terminator versus
Yes.
And I was like, the AI, like iRobot,
right,
something like that.
AI and the Terminator. I was like, no, you can't be serious.
It was Terminator versus Ultron, and he was saying he would take the Terminator, bro. Like, what? versus Ultron, bro.
I would take him over Ultron. Yes.
Oh no, I meant like if
I'm old school.
No. If I could fight one, I'd fight the Terminator. Yes,
I'm fighting Terminator.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Like I ain't the Avengers.
No, I ain't fighting Ultron, bro. Ultron beat my ass. I get Sarah Connor, a normal motherfucker with a gun, bro. I could do that.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you're one of the people who comments, repost, and like you're involved in it, part of the community, and it's like that relationship that you're talking about. That's really cool.
I love what y'all do because for one thing, I like about it is that you all are organic. I can, before we started today, I was teasing you about y'all being like the new white men can't jump. How the characters are. Mm-hmm. I think that's how you are. That's how I look at you two, and I can tell that you two worked well together when you were at Frazee. Mm-hmm. I can tell that was great. Yeah. I can look at it and see y'all had a rapport with each other, really organic. And once it's visceral like that, you can't have no choice but to support that. Yeah. Because it's authentic. Authenticity is what's missing. When you add that, you can't be beat.
100%. But I definitely appreciate you rocking with us because definitely JP was one of the first people I told about the podcast and us like bringing the podcast up. And he was the one that actually got me thinking about putting in merch. He's like, yeah, you need to start rocking your own merch. That's why he rocking the Hustle Huddle hat right now.
Clean hat.
Hustle Huddle.
And stuff like that. So it's definitely one of those things where you surround yourself by good people and good people will come. So I guess now that you are a barber, you see different walks of life. Like I be seeing him cut like the rowdiest, like little motherfuckers to old men to professional athletes. He be cutting crazy people. I guess if someone wanted to get started in being a barber, like what do you think their first step that they need to take to get into it?
Cut hair, man. First thing you do, just cut hair. You're gonna suck at it at first. This is what it is. You're gonna suck at it. It's the rule of thumb: 10,000 hours to master a craft. So you got to get started. The sooner the better. But you got to be whack before you be nice. Thanks. After that, start getting some training together. Start getting some training in school. And while you're in school, cut everything and walk in. That's the place where you mess up. So the teachers are there to make sure to correct you. And the biggest thing, drop your ego and just be open to ideals, criticisms, everything.
Yeah.
All right, be a sponge. Everybody has something to teach, even if it's what not to do. So that's the biggest thing I can tell anybody. But, yeah, just get started just by cutting and then make yourself legal by just getting your license and go from there. Or if you can apprentice. Yeah. If you can apprentice, that would be great. Unfortunately, in California, there's not many places no more to do that. But if you can find one, just lock it in.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Because two things that you said that I really like about that. One is you got to get started. Like it doesn't matter how small, big. It's like cut your homies, cut officially, cut it at school, just cut. Because we talk so much about paralysis and analysis and people always think about how do I get started? What's the best way to get started? They're searching it up on YouTube, how to become a barber. They don't got clippers. They ain't even looked at how much clippers cost. Just get rolling. And then two, you said something be okay to fail and learn from your failures. Yes. And it's that's what I talk about when it comes to our sales aspect is I've learned more from my no's than almost any of my yeses. And it's you hear athletes, Kobe, Jordan, it's they learned the most from their losses. I'm never feeling that again. What do I have to do? And I think that's really cool. And also a big part of bringing you on is, we're a fitness, hustle podcast, but a lot of what barbers do is a lot of entrepreneurship and a lot of work ethic. A lot of hustle. Because it is a craft, it's a skill set, but within that, it's a business in itself. And it's how do you carry yourself? Are you always learning? Because you're going to make as much as you're kind of worth or as much as you're willing to make yourself worth. So I think that learning aspect, there's not really necessarily a ceiling on barbering. And just getting going is good. I guess, first off, real quick, because bringing you in for the hustle aspect, what's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, let them know.
Instagram. JP_ the Symmetry Pros.
The Symmetry Pros, okay.
Symmetry Pros. Go hit them up.
Hey, it'll be in the show notes.
I'm telling you, it's going to be in a little link below or link up here, somewhere over here. There's going to be a link. Subscribe and follow, bro. And if y'all in the area, I'm telling you, if you in the northern SoCal area in Oceanside, bro, go. You need a barber, bro. I'm telling
Screw
you.
it. If you in Southern California, come see me.
See?
I don't care
Facts.
because there ain't a lot of people that's gonna do what I do.
Facts. That's on God, bro. You the only person
I'm
that
just gonna put it out there.
gonna
I
get
am
you
who
right,
I am.
bro.
I'm
It's-
unapologetic. Me. I'm too old to be saying all this. No, I'm me. Yeah,
Facts.
you in Southern California, you want a professional, decent, clean, nice haircut. I'm your man.
Go see the boy.
Done.
Yeah,
Nah,
done.
that's a fact though, because I really be having people be like, "Damn, where you get your haircut from?" And
I did get 5 people from them. That is no lie.
bro, I be
And
sending
they
them,
all came from your store.
bro. I'm telling you, bro, I'm a walk-in marketing, bro. I be
Marcos, if you hear this, I'm sorry.
damn.
I gave him a free haircuts from that. But I like what
cool.
you and what you were saying. I do like what you said in that, and it's something that's missing is that people always looking up and they're afraid to fail. People in general now, this generation is afraid to fail. They want to research everything so they don't fall. But the best lessons come when you fall.
It's a fact.
You got to and parents, you got to let your kids hurt themselves. Because guess what? When they do, now you got them. But that's forgiving. You just got to go do. Don't think, just do.
Yep.
That's
All
a
right?
fact.
Don't look back. Hey, I get mad. Like, I love my kids. They're older now. But one thing, when they were younger, they'd be like, how about this? How about this? Don't keep asking me. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
just learn
and
from your
that's it.
mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes.
That's so funny because now I agree with that completely. When I was a kid, though, and I'd ask questions, they're like, go figure it out. Google it. Do it on your own. I'm like,
bruh.
just tell me the
Just
answers.
tell me how to fucking do it, bro. But nah, that's true though.
Oh, and before I forget, because you mentioned it in your story that you served, I want to thank you for your service. I appreciate
man.
that.
Appreciate that.
Motherfucker ain't never thanked me for my service.
I have too. Shut up. Shut up.
No,
Obviously, I'm sure that played a part into your well grooming and the discipline you had. But kind of, if you want to break it down, since you are who you are, like you were saying, and if you want a good cut to come see you, what has your journey been like? We heard about going from the military, being a sports analyst or sports journalist?
Sports journalist.
Journalist, which is, I want to get into that too. I need to hear more debating from that side of it. But
You're doing it now.
yeah, true. What got you going from just kind of, you would say you're plain old barber. Like, what's your story been from cutting officially with a license, going through school, going to multiple different barbershops, and then kind of running your own spot? What's that been like? What got A to B?
yeah. What happened from
That's a lot. Sorry.
whack barber to hot barber? We need to know.
I like that. Black barber to hot barber. I like it. Well, for starters, my journey has been taking me to places that some people just won't go through. You know, literally. Like, I was literally living here, like I said. I would take the bus because I didn't have a car at that time. I was living not too far from here. I would take the bus down to Escondido and take another bus from Escondido to San Diego and then get on a trolley and then walk another half mile to work. And I would still beat everybody there. So I had work ethic. That was something I pride in. I said nobody was going to outwork me. And I'm still prideful of that to this day. Nobody was going to outwork me. And I would work in San Diego because they were the only people that would allow me to work. And at the point when I needed to work because I was in school and I wanted to get better. And that was the thing that threw me. I want to get better. And the only way you're going to get better is by being exposed in the shop. And in the shop is where you're going to grow. It's where you're going to be exposed to different cuts, but different people. And that's the biggest thing. How do you handle different walks of life? Because not everybody is going to be the same. You know, everybody's going to be different. You're going to have some genders, you know, females get cuts too, you know, kids and different ethnicities, you know. So I learned how to handle that. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. I've been blessed that no matter when I've worked, I've always had somebody cut at least one every time. And through that, I just grew, you know, my style and technique. I took a little bit of what I learned, not just from cutting, but from getting cut. I took what I liked and I made into what I am. And it's fitting, right? We were talking about it here. My kids went to school here in the city of San Marcos. They grew up here. Actually got exposed. That's through them. I got exposed to the high school aspect. I didn't understand that these kids were, just kids, just being kids, talking, playing video games, doing their sports. I had no idea they were as good as they were until later. And one of the kids happened to be friend was Fred Warner.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And Fred, it was funny. I first cut Fred. Fred looked like he was afraid to look up. He was afraid. It was like he was this big guy, but yet he just wasn't sure of himself. And I gave him the first cut, and he smiled, and he started to be more outgoing, and little by little, that man he is now grew into that person. So
that's hella cool.
that's the beauty of it. That's when I always say this about my career. I cut my teeth with his class, graduation class, and the class after him, the two after them, is kind of molded me. But my youngest son's class are kind of what made me, because they solidified who I was. Like down here, they have the Silver Pigskin, which is the top football player in the county.
Yeah.
I think for like 6 years running, out of 6 people, I had 4.
Damn.
I had 4 every freaking year.
So if you want to be a good high school athlete,
Yeah.
you got to get the
cut up.
That's actually my handle on Twitter. It's like, if I'm not cutting you, you're not nice.
Hey, that's a fact, bro. I'm
That was
telling
my
you.
handle. So I literally was, doing that. That's how I, go for that. And in my head, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that no more. It's like, all right, this time is over. It's time for me to move on. What happens? I get another freshman, and it starts all over again. I didn't plan it. That ended up being, he brought his teammates. One was Jack Tuttle, who's now at Michigan. Another one was Chris Olave.
Sheesh.
And, yeah, we know where he's at.
Sheesh, my boy playing over there.
Yeah, so, it's great. Chris had me at the draft. That was a bug out.
He went to the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is probably the highest point I've achieved so far, being at the NFL draft and
That's crazy.
being exposed to all those players.
Did you cut him for the draft?
Yeah, bro, come on
When
now.
you saw him walk out, that was me.
If you not, bro, if your barber not cutting, if your barber ain't cutting somebody at the draft, don't holler at him, bro.
That's
Go get
crazy.
you a JP, bro. Come on, quit playing with him, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's wild, bro.
So when you add all those things together, it's like you said before, I failed more than I succeeded, but everybody always talks about my success. But no, I failed way more than I've done, good, but professionally. But definitely, I've learned way more from my losses, some of which I wish I could take back, but in a sense, no. Because if I did, I wouldn't be who I am now.
Facts.
Being able to build relationships, and it's more than just a craft, it's a lifestyle.
Fact.
And so, different. We all personal service, and that's the aspect that's being missing, is the personal aspect. Sometimes we just get into the business aspect, and we don't look at what our customers are. They're people. They have feelings. They have things too.
They're going through their life
They're
too.
going through life. There's times that I know that I text. I know if I have somebody at a certain time, I text, "Hey, you close? Is everything all right?" Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is. It's like, yeah, I'm just running a little behind. All right, cool. I have a guy. He comes in every Friday. I know he's going to be late. He's my last one. No,
I was
not
gonna say,
you.
damn.
No, every Friday he's my last one. I know he's going to be late, but you know what? It's okay, because he's coming from San Diego, and he's got his kid, and it's like, what? Cool, I got you. I'll see you when you get here.
That's cool.
And that's all right. We just can't lose the human aspect of what we do. Yeah. Humanity is pretty much what helps all of us.
Facts.
Appreciate it, and we grow.
Yeah, that's a fact, because you definitely get caught up in being super transactional, where it's just like, oh yeah, cut and go, cut and go, cut and go, cut and go. And I think that's what separates you from being a good barber and a bad barber, is because I'm not saying there's bad barbers that do cut and go, but from the barbers that I've been around, and they were very transactional, where it's like, boom, get your haircut, all right, give me the money, get out of here. And I feel like those cuts are different compared to you actually sitting in there and you getting a cut from someone that's gonna actually perfect and like take their time and be like, yo, like, hey, like you're a person and I know like this cut is gonna affect you outside of this, and this is why I'm cutting you because I know when I don't get a cut, bro, confidence down. As soon as I get a cut, I'm him again. I'm Himzel Washington. I'm talking about. I'm walking out with the chest pump and everything. I'm looking good. But 2 weeks go by, bro. I'm looking scruffy, bro. I don't even think I got the confidence to get out of bed, bro.
It would be different. I'm grumpy.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Like, I think that's like one of the bigger things is a lot of people, they get super into that transactional phase where they just knocking people out. Even in our industry, like we get transactional and we start to forget that like these are actual people and we need to sit down and like treat them like people because like they have emotions, they have feelings, they have shit going on outside of work, they got shit going on outside of wherever you're at, and like you never know what's going on in somebody's day. So like you doing your due diligence and your justice to like make that person's day better goes 1,000 miles.
What's crazy is if you're doing this for the right reason too, whatever industry you're in, most of the time when you get like that, not transactional, but you tap in and you're figuring out more about that person, it's more of a personal experience. Like your work gets better. Yeah. All of a sudden you get revitalized. You're more into your like, I don't know, you're in that mode right there. Yeah, and it's like that's when the best you comes out too is when you're being there for them, actually in the moment.
Yeah. So, all right, hot topic. Let me hear some of the do's and don'ts, like as a client. So like we clients, we don't know what barbers like. We don't know what y'all dislike. We don't know if we should be sitting straight up, if we should be moving our head. We don't know. We don't know.
Eye contact. No, I don't know if I should
give you eye contact when you talk to me. Like I don't know. What are some of the do's and don'ts for a client when they come into the chair and it's like your biggest pet peeve? Like, hey, don't come in here. Like, what if they come in with like some greasy, nasty hair? Like, am I supposed to wash my hair before I come in? Because usually I wash my hair after. You feel me? Like, what am I doing? What's the do's and don'ts? I need these hot takes, bruh.
All right. First, in all my services, they include shampoos.
Facts.
All my services include shampoos.
You get me right.
It doesn't matter if you come in with with hair or not. It's good to have it shampooed before. If your barber, whoever you are out here, if you have a barber that doesn't really emphasize that, make sure you wash it beforehand. Because what happens is if you come with product in the hair, guess what? Now the tools have to go through that, and the tools can break. So now he or she can't work anymore. So, make sure that it's properly washed hair care before you come in. Number 2, do not step on the footrest when you first sit in the chair.
Damn.
Step over the footrest, sit down, and then put your
I know you be stepping
on the footrest.
You the type of motherfucker be stepping on footrest. I can tell your ass be stepping on footrest, huh?
I'm gonna have to pay attention now. Okay.
Yes. 3, chewing gum. You have a bad habit.
Bruh, that's what I stay doing. You be like, bro, you and this gum again, bruh. That's you, huh?
No,
y'all know you be chewing gum.
No, I don't be chewing gum.
Right.
Well, because he's got to do my beard too. I can't be.
Exactly.
That's what I be like.
All of a sudden, you're like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
I be forgetting, bro.
And then when because all those muscles to chew.
I be like,
bro, I think because you guys did a little vlog last time you cut him. I think you were chewing gum in that video.
Bro, I be forgetting, bro.
I be working around it. I work around it. You're not the only one.
Yeah, I be forgetting. Because I be stopped because like he be like, you and this gum, bro. And I be like, damn, I be forgetting I got gum in my mouth, bro. It's just a habit, bro. It's like smoking cigarettes, bro. I gotta chew gum, bro.
So what we got so far? So don't step on the stool.
Don't step on the stool.
Don't chew gum.
Wash your hair.
Yeah, have
chew
a shampoo,
gum.
cleansed hair. Yeah, that's really it. That's only pet peeves I really have. I don't really have much.
Word?
That's
now people
easy.
like slouching in the chair or
my fault.
Oh, see,
that's
boom,
a big one. You got me
him
right there. That's slouching. Yes,
slouching in the chair.
Posture
bro.
is very big when you're sitting. Sit upright with your back to the back of the
like
chair.
This.
Yes, if you slouch and I'm like, I have to fight to get you up. That's messing your hairstyle up.
Hey, your fade about to be crooked.
Exactly. What?
Bet. What are some of the good things to do? I guess the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite.
The opposite.
Things you appreciate.
Yeah, what do you appreciate from your clients that they be doing? Any appreciations? Maybe coming in 5 minutes early.
That would be great. 5 minutes early, 5 minutes. You know, I know time is something that I'm on, but again, I understand we go through things, so it's not crazy about me. You know, I'm not too crazy about it. You know, I'm thankfully that I have a customer base, a clientele base that they're flexible. So it's like, all right, it's cool. Because usually I'm pretty good with my time. Now I know how to scale it.
Yeah.
I've been pretty good with my time. It took me a while to scale myself, but once I did, no looking back. What else?
Because realistically, you can't control the time to an extent. Like if say he got a cut at 12 and he come in at 12:15 or 12:10, like
and I have an hour-long haircut.
Yeah, that kind of fucks it up, right? Because unless you
for the
know,
next person, it's not even your fault.
Unless you know that you can knock a haircut out in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I be feeling like y'all be
doing it.
Y'all be like, yeah, I'm just going keep this man here. Yeah, I'm doing something back here. My old barber, bro, had me in that chair hostage one time, bro. I was in there for like 3 hours, and I was like, nigga, what are you doing back there, bro?
That's crazy.
And I swear he was just going like,
because I could tell. So
over the line, I'm like, bro, y'all know you done.
Who do you go to?
For Against the Grain off the 101.
Oh,
Marcos.
Oh, okay. I think he started school after I did.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Because I was gonna say I could tell when he rushes. Yeah. So my haircut, like beard and hair, is like 45, 50 minutes. I can tell when he rushes. And if I get out in 30 minutes, I'm like, wait a goddamn minute.
Nah, bro.
I look at a mirror, I was like, this don't look exactly like he usually do.
No disrespect to
Marcos. But it's because I'm late. I'm late
no
sometimes.
Disrespect to Marcos, but one time they had my boy look.
What?
When your part was like damn near in the middle of your head, bro, I lost it, bro.
I don't know what happened, and me and him talked about it, but there was something that's going on where my hard part used to be on my other side, and that's because he asked me what side to put on. I told him that side.
He's crying right now,
bro. Nah, this part just. But I swear
to God,
bro.
every time we did the hard part, he was creeping closer to the center, and like the thing was when I asked him, I was like, "Hey, you think this is creeping up a little bit? Like, what's going on here?" And he looks at it, he's like, "You know what? You're right." And I was like,
that shit was. It started off like right here, but that shit just started creeping up to the middle of his head. I was like, that shit damn near one, and it was like kind of thick too. Like I could fit a whole ruler in that bitch.
I think that's what initially happened. Is one time he went too thick and he just could never go back.
Bro, it was like hella thick. Like you could put motherfucking Hot Wheels to that motherfucker.
Wait a minute. But
it was funny.
So then we switched sides, and then to let that grow back out. And initially I was gonna be like, okay, we'll switch sides for a little bit, and then I'll go back, and then just. My hair sits, right now I have a different product that I don't usually like because I'm out of my pomade, but I feel like it sits better. I don't have to brush it as much. And
you've been on point lately.
And he hasn't crept up as much.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great because you just said, yeah, I'm out of pomade, but you understand it. See, I see like YouTube would be ideal for me. Why? Mm-hmm. Because it's something consistent. It's like almost it's almost like a expense for you. Yeah. You have to look good. You have to be presentable for what you do. And guess what? This comes with it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like a tax write-off. Here you go. So I need to be on point. Here you go. And that's what I cater to. That's what I've marketed to, that person. I was never cut out to be a Coast Highway, even though I started out there after I got my license. I was never cut out to be a Coast Highway barber because I can't rush you in and rush you out. It just hasn't been, that has never been my forte. Bruh. Never been that person.
I think when I first got to Camp Pendleton, I went to Coast Highway. Never again, bruh. I went there one time. I was like, never again.
I've seen people go into some of those barbershops.
Hey, get up out of here. It was like 20 minutes, bro. I was like, 15, nah, ain't no way, bro.
Like 15 minutes, they in and out.
Hey, ain't no way. And my shit was crooked.
Somebody can't do a nice cut in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what's the detail they're putting in it?
Facts.
See,
that shit ain't no
detail.
If
they can't say they're putting any detail in it, then no, it's
it's a wrap.
So we talked about like the do's and don'ts at clients. Recently on TikTok, I saw like a series, and it was like why people hate barbers, and the guy goes up. over also some of the stuff like why people love barbers. So what are some of the do's and don'ts for new and veteran barbers that you saw during, because you've worked in really busy shops and also you've been independent.
Right.
So when you were in those bigger shops, maybe what did you see that are like client icks, like why somebody might not return to a shop? And then what is another thing, like obviously the personal aspect of why somebody keeps coming back to a shop?
Yeah.
I think the most problem that I've seen is that it's either the aspect of not being consistent. All right. I think I believe clients expect a certain, once you establish your initial professionalistic, how it's going to be, clients expect that. And if you're inconsistent with that, then of course they're not going to be like, maybe the second time, all right, maybe this is that. If it happens again, it's like, wait, what's going on? They want the same rhetoric. If you say, like, if I come in and I shampoo your hair once, you're going to expect that all the time. All right? Now, if I give you coffee the first time, like literally have 3 guys, they come in, I have their coffee ready right where they come in, here you go. 2 of them like it black, the other one, he likes 2 creams and 1 sugar. Boom, there you go, every time. I don't miss it. So that's what I mean. Certain things, little things, they like cleanliness, the way the chair is facing. Just little things, little detail-oriented things that might go unnoticed by an operator, but to clients, that's what I focus on. What do you like? It's not about me, it's about you. For instance, when I look at a website and I go to About Me, I don't look at I don't look at it for information on the person that has a website. I look at the information of how you're going to help me. Are you what I'm looking for? See, and that's basically, I look at it from a customer point. Am I helping you? Well, how can I help you? What are you looking for? Why didn't you like your last person? I think that was one of the first questions I asked you.
Yeah.
What happened with your last barber?
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't going nobody else after me.
Nice. That's true. I mean, that's the confidence you need to have as a barber.
I said, what
happened at your last barber?
What happened with your last barber? That was really it. And he was like, well, he did this, he did that, and it wasn't with that. Most of the time I'm hearing is inconsistencies.
Right.
All right? And then you have the customer service aspect. And, there's some customers that do it to themselves. But there are other customers, that they make appointments and a barber's not there, and they locked it in, but they're not there.
Damn.
And it happens more than one time.
I was going to say, I've seen that happen. And, like, obviously, a lot of shops, like, their booth rent, like, that's not necessarily one of their employees, but it gives the shop a bad name, and they be getting tight about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, you just lost that money. Like, that's kind of like their punishment. But, like,
the shop is getting a bad name for that.
Yeah.
They don't look at it, they look at it themselves. No, they don't talk about you. They talk about the shop.
It's facts.
And that's why I used to tell the last guy I was with, I said, it's a gift and a curse to work here because you're such a good person to work for and to work with that you basically, what ends up happening most of the time, that people hang themselves because they do stuff bad. He's going to tell you, and it takes a lot, to get him upset. But once he's there, it's like, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What are some, like, things that would be like, if you were a barber, like, if you got into a pretty decent shop, like, what are some things you've seen them just like, all right, you're done? Like, that would make a shop owner like, you're done.
Oh, wow. Just being unprofessional. That's the biggest thing. Unprofessionalism, man, that's just the biggest pet peeve. If you say you're going to come in at a certain time, yeah, you might be a booth renter, but just be an adult. Come in at the time you're supposed to come in. All right? Take care of the shop like you would like it's yours.
Yeah.
I think that's where I excelled at. I would be usually the first one there. I would take care of the laundry. I would just clean up everything to make sure when people came in that they could just come in and work.
That's a fact, though, because every time I used to go into East to West, I used to go there at like 7 a.m. and he'd be in there like opening up the shop and like have laundry in, like have like the towels ready. shit was all cleaned up, and you would have like breakfast for everybody too. I was like, damn. I was like, all right. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was great days, man. I used to just go to Chick-fil-A and just get a platter of chicken minis.
Yeah, the chicken minis, and pull up and have some chicken minis there, bro. It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, so I always be thinking. So this is my theory on barbers. Well, not theory, but this is what I be thinking. What happens when you got a barber that can't really cut and you already hired him as a barber? Because
they don't have the skill or they don't have the will.
Like they both maybe like they don't have the skill and they don't have the will. Like maybe they get into the shop and like they cutting and you see some people walking by their chair and you like, damn, like that looking a little rough. Because and
clients ain't always gonna tell them either.
Yeah, 100%. They ain't gonna tell them. But and then like in my eyes, if I just got out of a chair and I like got cut and I'm walking out there with fucked up cut, I'm not saying that barber was trash. I'm saying this shop was trash. I'm like, hey, don't go back to that shop. They fucked me up. Don't go there. So like, what is like the common thread of like when people have like just no skill or like they just not good barbers? Like how did you go about that?
It's on the barbers now. Now it's on the shop to train this person up. Now somebody new obviously isn't going to have the skill set that a more veteran barber will have, but it's up to, the owner and whoever the manager is to train those barbers up.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's up to the rookie barber to actually be susceptible to training, to understand, hey, yeah, I need work. All right. And to seek out help.
Yeah.
But most of the time is what happened that the first thing they do is go to YouTube University. Everybody thinks, YouTube already free. I'm a example right now. Most of the best training I got, I paid for. What happened when I was last year? What I do? I went to New York.
Yeah, you went to New York and what was that for? You went to New York for something.
I went to New York for my birthday, but the truth of it was,
but you were doing some type of training over there too.
I did a 2-day advanced barber course over there. And it did cost a lot, but I'm better for it. I learned more advanced techniques that they don't teach in school and they're not giving out over the internet.
That's right.
The dude just was secret. Like he would give you a snippet, but he wouldn't show you how he did it. So I wanted to know exactly what it was. How can I use this? Through that, it changed my way of thinking. And what I noticed is that a lot of the clientele, I looked at the clientele I was performing my craft on, and the walk of life they come from, the conversations we were having, and I knew I had to do something to keep them. Yeah. They're more professional. They're like you. They're like Sean. Yeah. Like Jesse. You're over here. All right. And then some of them, they're doctors. They're lawyers. And they don't, I had to put them in an environment that catered to that. And so that was my move for what I made, But, most of the best training I got, I paid for. I paid for that training. I paid for another training. It's called Champ Camp. It was out here in San Diego for 3 days. Paid for that. I paid for, I'm doing this mastermind class that I do every Monday and Wednesday, and it, teaches me marketing stuff and just progression. Can't stay stagnant. You always got to, do the goal. Once you do another goal, boom. Objective. I don't want to say goal. I don't like that word. Yeah. Objective. So we use one objective. Go get another one. Go get another. Go get another. I'm fine with where I'm at with my studio. I'm 47 now. Turned 47 3 weeks ago.
Jeez.
So thanks, man. And at this point, it's more of a, what can I do to help somebody else? I've accepted that I'm the uncle. I'm the older gentleman. So I like my studio. I like having a place where you can come and be in a nice environment that's not too loud. That's, you can come and you don't have to worry about no hustle and bustle. Like, what's the first thing I ask you? Like, all right, how's work? What's going on with that?
Yeah.
And we can talk about that in a private setting that sometimes you don't want other people knowing.
That's a
but
fact.
We have a personal relationship. So guess what? We can talk about that. Ain't nobody gonna be there. Yeah. And so once I, figured out who I was, figured out what business I was running and where I wanted to go with it, it was easy for me to make the decision I made. I'm not happy with how it ended up because the truth of the matter is I did that. That was my fault. I completely take 100% for that. I've tried to make amends with that, but that's another story. But I still love everybody I used to work with. I still wish the best success for them. If I could help them, I would. All right, because that guy I work with, Manny, that's a 20-year relationship almost, damn near. I've known him since 2005, 2006.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's a long time to have, a relationship with somebody and, then for it to go bad. I don't want that, but, I mean, business-wise, this is what I had to do for me, so.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, because I've been in a lot of barbershops, and I've been in from, like, the barbershops where it's nothing but ghetto motherfuckers in there, and they all smoking blunts, to high-end class barbershops like yourself, and then all the way to commercial barbershops like Sports Clips and PX barbershops. So, like, I've been in through so many different barbershops, and I think obviously what sets, like, kind of exactly what you said, like, what sets your barbershop away from a lot of barbershops is, like, you get that own, like, personal barber experience. And that's what drives, like, yeah, it's cool going to the barbershop and like kicking it and, like, talking shit amongst other barbers. Like, that's always a vibe too. Like, when you go to a barbershop and, like, have that barbershop talk, like, that's always a vibe. But, like, you still get that when you go to your own personal barber too. Like, we be talking shit all the time, and, like, even if we put on, like, the podcast or we put on something on TV, like, and we always have hot takes about what's going on up there. So, like, you don't lose that when you go into, like, that type of atmosphere. Right. So that's what I think is pretty dope, versus compared to going to, like, a normal barbershop or going to, like, a trap barbershop.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I've been to a trap bar. I worked at a trap barbershop, man. It's funny. A friend of mine, he was just like, man, I can't. He's followed me everywhere I've been.
Yeah.
I still talk to that guy, but he was like, man, when you were down there, I was like, what the hell?
I'm telling you.
But he came down there anyway, man. He used to be, he picked me up on Friday and drive me home. So
bro,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Some of the trap barbershops different, bro. They crazy, bro.
So different.
They be
Yes.
But I guess so. My question is like, you gained a certain amount of clientele being who you are, and, like, do you think you got all that clientele from, obviously probably not being at the trap barbershop, because you're not getting lawyers and doctors probably going to the trap barbershop?
No, I think it actually grew. I think I know where you're going at this.
Yeah,
it just grew into that.
Okay,
it just grew into that. I had my several, I had clientele that you would say would be like from that background.
Yeah,
I still have those people, but I think the majority of them grew to be more professional. I began to track that, and it just became, that's what it was. Yeah. And a price point, I admit, my price point isn't the cheapest. It's not the cheapest. It's not the cheapest. And, I know other people that give out that price point too, but I'm not going to, it's nobody in particular. They might charge a certain price point. That's another pet peeve I have. When you charge a price point, but you're not delivering.
You're not worth the price.
You're not worth the price at all.
Yeah.
You do not deliver at all. And I'm looking at it. I'm like looking at what you're charging, but I'm like,
that's
okay,
crazy.
they gonna give it to you. But, if I'm a consumer like that, I know what I'm getting. Mm-hmm. So you can't pull that on me. But
because
some people just don't understand and know. They just understand what they're doing, and it's one of those things, monkey see, monkey do. They see it, they do it, they want to charge a hot price on it, but they don't know. If you ask them, well, why are you doing it? They can't tell you that. And what's the purpose of it? They can't tell you that. Mm-hmm. All they're going to do is regurgitate something they already heard. But they don't know the background of what it's going to do.
The value they're providing.
The value. They have no idea of it whatsoever.
Yeah, because I definitely been to barbershops where I paid like $20 for a haircut, and then I've been to your barbershop where I pay what I pay, and it's like, obviously, like, I get a lot more when I go to your barbershop. Like, you got drinks for people, you got, again, coffee ready to go for free, you got drinks ready to go for free, you got the TV on, you can put whatever you want streaming, bruh. You get your hair washed, you get the cut and everything. He do the facial, like to put the hot towel on your face. Like it's all, and like that's what you paying for. Like, but when you go to them barbershops and then gets you with a crazy price, and I'm like,
for what?
boy, you done lost your fucking mind. I'm never coming back, bro. That's crazy. Because
you know what's crazy about that? What you just said. You know, put on whatever. Usually we'll watch the sports and stuff. One time I tried to put on, hey, let's watch it. So we're gonna put on the podcast. This dude could not sit and watch himself.
Bruh, I can't.
It was hard for him to do it. I don't understand. I was like, man, how you gonna do it? So you know what I did? I went on and put, all right, cool, let's watch these people. And he started getting ideas. It's like, all right, cool. But, all right, fine. But it's like, if I know he's into something, all right, cool, let me help you out. I have a guy he's a mechanic. Something came over about, he's a mechanic right now for BMW. Mm-hmm. And I was strolling Instagram, and there was something about some kind of training for certain thing, and I sent it right to him. He's like, man, thank you. That's why this is his message. Thanks, man. This is why I mess with you, because you all about growth. Right. And I am, man. So that was my thing. I would try to put the podcast on because I know you're doing this, and I support it, and I know what it can be. I mean, I'm seeing what it can be, so let me help you out. But he just was like, all right, cool. I'll put it back on here.
Bro, that was at like the beginning of the podcast, bro, when I wasn't comfortable seeing myself, this and that. But hey, I do appreciate that. I do respect that, because he really do be putting on a podcast and be going over like stuff that we be talking about, and like, yo, like, hey, like that's a good topic. Like you guys should be talking about this and that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
stay there
I appreciate
longer,
that.
get into that.
Yeah, so I appreciate that feedback. So I guess when do you realize, you know, like you're at a higher price point? Like when do you know when it's okay, like, hey, I can start charging more?
Well, the rule of thumb is once you're 80% booked.
Yeah.
Once you're 80% booked, you know you're 80% booked, and you want to fit more people in, and you don't know how to do it, then go up in price.
Yeah.
You know, and you still can't do it, go up in price some more. Then once they start dropping off and you can fit new people in at your new price point, then you're good.
Damn.
But I mean, let's be honest. If you have faithful people like you know, like you or you coming in regularly, do you really want to go up? I mean, of course you want to go up, but at the same time, do you want to take the chance of pricing out your regular standard people? I mean, I'm not. For instance, we talked about just recently me doing a few celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. That's all right. But I'm at the point that I like my everyday people, because those celebrities can come and go unless they live here. You know, but I like everyday people. I like everyday walks of life.
Yeah.
Other day, man, for instance, I gave a free haircut to somebody. I was walking, I had time. I said, hey, what you doing? He said, hey, you want a haircut? I said, hey, come on, let's go.
See?
I said, hey, you got to give me. He said, dang, thanks, man. This is dope. I said, no charge, man. Just I wanted you to come in and do it. That's what it is. I love the craft, but, you know, like, hey, what you do, man? What's up?
Yeah.
Like Vic Blends do on video, I just did it for real. Like,
that's
I ain't need no fanfare for that. It's just me.
Yeah, because he do be having like different walks of life be coming through his barbershop. Like that one dude when I pulled up, and I was like, bro, this man multimillionaire. I could tell he is, because he copped out something
every
crazy.
time he wants to go right after this.
Hell
guy.
yeah, I'm trying to talk to this motherfucker. I'm like, book me after that man, bro, so I can talk to that man.
But the
bro.
problem now is they're on different weeks. Like he's coming in this week, unless you want to come in this week.
Nah, well, I'm coming in on Thursday.
Coming in Thursday, but
that's before
he's coming in tomorrow.
I should have got chopped up on the thing, bro. Show people the finishing cut.
Oh, anyways, before this? Yeah.
But I'm coming in next Thursday before I go to Japan. So
right.
Yeah. But yeah, we flip flop weeks because I don't know. I fell off somewhere. He fell off somewhere.
Damn.
I've been trying to, but yeah, he got different walks of life.
He fell off somewhere, and he was like, I asked him when he want to come. He said, yeah, I want to go either right before him or right after him.
One and two, bro. I need to talk to that man. I gotta see
that man.
Because he pulled up with something crazy, and I was like, hey, that's crazy. You for sure a millionaire. I could tell. Yeah, he got bread, though. But no, I think it's cool that you know that you don't want to price out people, because there's some people that just don't give a fuck, and they'll be like, yeah, hey, that's the price you either pay for or you leave. And you like generally do care about like your clients and stuff like that. So I guess my next question would be is where do you think you think you done with like growing as a barber, or you want to get like your own shop? You want to go back to a shop, or you think you cool where you at, or do you think you can expand out, make your own? I like you talking about going to New York to go take a class, like maybe do your own class. You got enough skill.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, and I'm glad you brought that up. At all, man. I love my studio. I like to call it a creative studio, creative suite. You know what? Just for, I mean, everything we do now, almost at a fault, needs to be marketed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has to know, no matter what walk of life and what profession they're in, how to market themselves to a mass audience. So the next step for me wouldn't even be a shop. It would be a creative studio. And right now, you already seen, I'll give you an example. I had a suite, and it was just a single suite. And my initial idea was to knock a wall out and get a double, something for me and my wife. And what ended up happening was I didn't do it at first because not so much jitters, but I didn't want to put that pressure on myself initially. And then once I seen how things were going, I was ready to do it. And the funny thing was, she called me and said, babe, we need more room. At the time, I was going to tell her I was going to get more room, but I didn't know because my wife is a director of a beauty school, actually just close by. One of her students was coming in, and she was getting the one right next to us, like, oh, no. So I ran and told the guy, the owner, he's like, somebody's supposed to get it, but maybe I can talk to him. And he said, okay, cool. He comes in, he shows the girl another place, and she took that. He comes over there, so you ready? I said, yeah. So we made the arrangements. I came in on Sunday. The wall was gone. So we had to go ahead and put it together to work. So I have a double right now. But that's it. Creative space for me and my wife, but more than that, now it's like you said, classes, teaching, and not just on the craft, on the business side.
Yeah.
On the business side, because I believe that's missing a whole lot. And it's missing because a lot of people in my craft really don't understand the business side. Not to a degree that as a whole. Yeah. They understand it from one perspective, but they couldn't give you the whole aspect, how it all correlates. Yeah. How an operator to a manager to an owner to even a suite owner. They don't understand that to a shop owner.
Yeah.
You know, it's all business to owning a building versus renting a building. See, people don't understand that. There's a lot of people don't understand. They can't teach you that. They say they can, but they really don't have any background to show that. Yeah. So that's more where I'm at now, just more teaching, more mentorship.
That's tight.
All right, because at this age, do I want to, track people down for rent and having people come in? Not really. Yeah. But can I help the next person coming up after me to where the profession is better than I started? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So then, I guess for people that are in that boat of, I don't know, or maybe like they're renting a booth right now, they want to go independent, or they want to open their own shop. Like, what do you recommend for them? Is it just all different depending on what their goal is? Is it just like, obviously, like some make more money than others. So, like, what do you think? Like,
this is a great question. I'm glad you said it. I am going to look directly at you right now. Coming out of school, take your butt to a shop. Do not go to a suite. Go to a shop first. Get exposed to everything, all different stuff. And after you're exposed at a shop, if you feel like you want to make that move to a suite, go right ahead. You feel like you have clientele to do it, do it. If you want to be a shop owner, go from there. But I encourage anybody first starting, go to a shop. Nice. Go to a shop. Learn, grow, get exposed to all different haircuts. Be exposed to all different people because you have to have a nice customer base. Find out who you are. If you're a speed cutter, if you're a grooming cutter, You know, find out who you are and what you are in this craft first. But go to a shop first.
That's exactly what the same advice that we give to personal trainers. I guess there's a couple of similarities between the crafts.
Facts.
But it's like once you get your certification, like
you shouldn't just go straight independent.
No, yeah, exactly. And it's like that's your right to like learn to be a trainer now. Like sure you took the course and you're certified and they say you could train people, but it's like this is where you really start learning.
Absolutely.
We tell people go to a big commercial gym that's going to get a bunch of walk-in traffic. It has a bunch of members. You're surrounded by other fitness professionals. And it's like, see what they do, learn from them. Try all these different types of different clienteles. The 50-year-old yoga mom's going to want to train differently than the 18-year-old NFL superstar. And it's like, same with haircuts. Like, you know, Sean's going to want a different cut than I do. We might want to feel we're pretty similar when it comes to like how we maybe want to feel when we're in the shop.
Oh, I was like, similar in what way?
Not our hairs, but,
hold on.
but like the environment that we like to be in and stuff, and the reasons why we want to look good just so that we can perform good. But I feel like it's a lot of the same stuff for a barber. Like once you got that license, like schooling is X amount of hours, but it's like you were saying, it's 10,000 to become a master of a craft, but it's like. Again, like how are you dealing with people? How are you handling the business aspects? Like get around other barbers, get around as many people as you can, and then figure it out. Because you might get into a studio and you realize like you don't like the quiet atmosphere. You get into a studio, you have 5 clients that were...
Or you don't know how to cut motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's a big one. But that's
studio, you get somebody asking for something crazy, and you're like, how do I do this?
So definitely from starting there. But I liked where Sean's question was kind of going on, like on the business side of things. Obviously, it's the hustle huddle. Me and Sean are always, business operated, entrepreneurial mindset. We've talked about kind of, to summarize it, what do you feel about owner-operator versus outside owner? Like someone who's not a barber owning a shop versus like the owner-operator, so the owner is a barber in the shop. Do you see pros and cons versus those two?
Owner-operator, I see pros.
Okay.
Because guess what? They know exactly what you're going through as an operator. Mm-hmm. So they can sympathize, and they're also there with you for the most part. They should be anyway. As a person outside that just wants a business, as a barbershop business, he or she probably just wants their bottom line. Mm-hmm. So guess what? Here it is. Make this much. I'm putting you in charge of it. Make sure I get it. Boom. Go ahead. Whatever. Just run it how you see fit. And if they don't have a knowledge of the business, 9 times out of 10, the business fails.
Yeah.
So they just looking at an aspect of they have an extra amount of income, passive income. So no, owner operator all the way.
Right on.
Sheesh. So have you ever worked for an outside operator, and then I know you worked for an owner operator, but have you ever worked for an outside operator?
Nah.
No.
I know people that done it.
Yeah.
And
headaches.
Yes.
Because I know
he tried to tell something. He's like, well, they're trying to. Oh, wow. Okay, this is what we're going through. All right.
So I know one owner that's not an operator. He owns a couple shops. He owns, what is that, Firestone?
Yeah.
That's a shop, right? Over in
by Rookies?
Yeah, by Rookies. He owns that shop.
Right.
He owns a shop in Vista, like a little small shop. I forgot what it's called. A little like Mexican shop. It'd be a bunch of Mexican dudes. Yeah, Fire Mountain. Right. And then he owns a little spot over in Vista, bunch of Mexican dudes. And then he owns one more other one. I can't remember. I think another one.
San Clemente or something.
I don't know. He owns another shop. But anyways, I can see that he is one of those people that just, I guess he started off as a barber, and then he just said, fuck it, I'm not being a barber anymore. I'm just going to own shops. And he literally has been doing that for, I don't know for how long, but since they probably been open. And he's a passive, like, hey, I'm just coming in and collecting money. But I never understood, like, who's running that shop then? Do they just put it on one head chair and then
he has a manager that's running the shop.
Okay. And then does he pay that manager, or?
You know what? That's a good question.
Or do they just not pay booth rent? Or
he probably pays a different booth rent than everybody else because he or she probably has more responsibilities or you get a salary. But I know a couple people like that. Yeah. I know a couple people that does that. I'm I I know one person, he actually owns 3 shops and a school.
Damn.
Don't have to do much. If you have that much and they're going, you don't have to do much work.
Yeah.
So what that do allows you to have other things, just collect. You might have one day you work in a shop and you just actually, you work a full day and that's it. But, I mean, other than that, you have to work like you used to?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at a position where I work 5 days a week. I like to get down to 4.
Yeah.
4 to 3. Just work 3 full days. That would be my ultimate goal. 3 full days and then have the rest of the week to myself.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy.
Yeah, that'd be straight. So I guess for the people out there, obviously you don't have to throw out like what you making because I ain't throwing that out there. But for like people that are starting off as barbers, I guess you can throw out like what you made when you started off as a barber, or maybe like what the average barber makes when they first start off, because a lot of people don't think barbers make money, and that's like one of the sideways of like why people don't become barbers. But then there's like people like me and like maybe Christian that know exactly how much barbers make.
Because when you start looking at the numbers,
I know you making something.
Exactly.
You start crunching the numbers. It's a good business, a good industry to be in, especially if you have the clientele to keep those like wheels turning. So I guess like what's like an average number that a barber makes out in California that you would think?
Man, I can't really say because I don't know their numbers. But what I can tell you, because this is a hustle huddle, as Rick Ross would say, your hustle determines your salary.
True.
If you and a person that's not there grinding, you won't make as much as the person that is.
Yeah.
Hard work would always be talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Facts.
Okay, so I can't really put a number on it.
Yeah.
What I can say is you can go in the shop and you can see exactly who's working and who's not.
Yeah.
And when you see that person who's working, you can see they might be pulling in numbers.
Yeah.
Even if they ain't pulling in, pricing it, to where somebody else might be, you could be pricing at 25 and they could be pricing at 50. But if they cut 1 head an hour, but this 25 is cutting 3 heads an hour, who's winning? Exactly. So, like I had to tell somebody this one time, they were like, I was trying to get them to understand. And they were like, well, this person gives me that. This person gives that. I said, you're not listening to me. I asked you, what are you charging for that? Mm-hmm. Okay? And he's like, they tried to, they basically got a little bit, not upset, but they got, upset with the question.
Yeah.
I was like, because, and I said, look, I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just trying to make you realize that it's a lot that you do that you're not getting paid for.
Yeah.
You're basically doing it for free. And so you need to scale your business better. And as long as you've been doing this, you should know this by now, but I get it because, when you caught up in that vacuum and you're just working, you're not even looking at that. Yeah. So guess what? Let's back up. Let's look at and crunch the numbers. Let's price it right so you'll get what you want. They actually did it, and they flourished. And that was the first sign of me like, man, maybe I can help people.
Yeah.
Do this, whatever, because I know what I'm doing. Even though I've never owned a shop, I know what I'm doing. I know my value. I know my worth.
Thanks.
So if I can help myself, I know I can help somebody else. I just need them to be susceptible to maybe you got to take 1 step back to go 4 steps forward. And who knows what that leads to, I'm more happy to, help, but I'm not going to give a price, though, because
it could vary.
It could vary.
Motherfuckers make 30 grand a year up to, 30 grand a year. I don't know. I know some of y'all barbers. So, at least you could tell us what the average booth rent in California is.
The average booth rent in California is probably about $250.
$250?
A week?
A week.
A week.
So you think you're paying $1,000
a
month for a chair. And if the rent for a building or a lease, it's like, the average lease I would say is like roughly $3 grand, $2,800 to $3 grand a month. That doesn't include the triple net or NNN, okay, and then if water, electric, all right, entertainment, which is the cable, and whatever else that the shop center owner might want to throw in based on the business that are there. Like they have commercial businesses and you're a small business, they might ask for something else on the side.
Yeah.
You could go from $3,000 to $5,000 quick.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, at least you now know if you really want to be a barber, like you know exactly what you got to be making, like anywhere from $250 to $300 a week to be maintaining a chair in California, to be a barber in California, essentially.
yeah, to be a barber in California is expensive.
Yeah.
It is expensive. And then we're talking Southern California. We're not even talking Northern California,
Thanks.
where it's way more expensive to live here than it is, you know, there than it is here. So, you know, you're looking at, you know, different stuff. And one time my wife was actually offered a job up there. Luckily for me, I knew a barber there. So I asked him, like, okay, how much is it to, you know, be here? And he told me, how much are they offering her? And I told him, he was like, nah, they ain't gonna do nothing. Not in this area.
Damn.
And I'm from this area, the area where she's going. That's like the Beverly Hills up here. No way it's gonna pass. You could live in like Richmond. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's rough. So I mean, yeah, $250 to $300, and then you multiply that. That's $1,000. That's what, $1,200.
It could be
Anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a month that you got to pay just to be a barber. So now you got to figure out how much you're gonna charge and how many people you got to get in there.
And you're not even talking about maintaining product. If the shop don't offer product, like if you need to buy that yourself and stuff like that.
Oh, product. I would say that anybody who's an operator, you should be the expert on the product.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna buy it from anybody, they should buy it from you.
Yeah.
Not go to Sally's or go to CVS or these other places that don't know or can tell you, you know, what specifically your stylist or barber should know your hair and your conditions of your scalp better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna buy if your clients are gonna buy product, it better be from you. It better not be from no one else.
Thanks. But
There you go.
that's it. Any other questions? Round us out.
Shit. Well, since you a sports journalist, we're going to get off the barber talk real quick. Before we get my man JP the Barber out of here, who you got winning the finals this year?
Man.
Stop playing with them, bro. You know who about to win, bro.
We got one team in, but where's the other two teams? The other one's not in yet.
Facts.
Well, who you got winning that series? The Eastern Conference Finals.
Honestly, I hope Jimmy Butler wins because the story that if he wins would be awesome.
Yeah.
How he started to win an NBA championship, you got to make a movie out of that.
Facts. What he get drafted at like 38 or something like that? Like pick number 38 or 36?
He was like the last pick in the first round or something.
Yeah, he was something crazy.
Shoot, got kicked out of his mom's house when he was like
13.
13.
Oh, that's why that might
Sent his
kid,
letter
bro.
of intent through a McDonald's fax machine.
Bro, that's crazy.
Willed his way to be an All-American. Willed his way to being a first-round NBA draft pick. After Derrick Rose,
Facts, that's
when Derrick
rough.
Rose was killing the league.
Fuck, that's so rough to follow up Derrick Rose, rookie Derrick Rose, bro. That's rough.
So I'm just saying, man, that story right there. I sentimentally I would like to see Jimmy Buckets win, but in my rationale, I think it's Denver's to lose.
Yeah, that's a
I
fact.
believe it's Denver's to lose.
That's a fact.
Thinking rationally.
And watch, Jimmy gonna fuck. If Jimmy fuck around and win, bro, Mike gonna come out and be like, "Hey, that's my son. That's my son. Shout out to my boy.
I'm proud.
I'm a proud father."
What's good?
You want to talk sports?
Do we talk sports?
I'll keep going. I don't care.
Oh, tonight?
I'm gonna hang with you. I don't care.
Oh, I got pack.
Oh yeah, he got a pack,
got
bro.
pack.
He got a pack. All right.
It's for another time. But what was I gonna say? I would love it if Jimmy Butler wins. But outside of that, bringing it back to kind of your barber career, your hustle mentality, anything you just want to kind of give the Hustle Huddle community before you get out of here?
Get you a JP.
Get you a JP, bro.
On
Quit
that
fucking
note,
around with him.
where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram
Thanks.
at JP_ the Symmetry Pros.
Yes, sir.
All right. You can find me on YouTube at Symmetry Pro Barber. And you can find me in my Phoenix Salon Suites over off of Mission and El Camino
In Oceanside,
in
baby.
Oceanside, California.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
And y'all know, follow, like, subscribe. And you also know,
Hustle is the only controllable pillar of success, especially when you're a barber, baby. Come on now.
now
Let's go.